He may be the sheriff of Lee County, but County Marceno is becoming pretty popular across the country with his social media posts. It's one of the ways he's able to keep his finger on the pulse of his community. He is running uncontested for his third term, and our news director, Anita Padilla, had a chance to catch up with him this week.
You know, Brendan, when you talk to Sheriff Marceno, it is so apparent how much he cares about his community. He's so passionate about keeping not only the people who live here safe, but he also wants to keep the animals safe. In fact, he's come up with this really great registry. It got support from the county here, and it's a registry to help identify animal abusers. And now this registry, which has been very successful, could also be seen statewide.
It's no mistake that if you abuse an animal in Lee County, it's not if, it's when we're coming for you, because we have zero tolerance. I'm an animal lover before sheriff.
That's Lee County Sheriff Marceno, who is tough on crime but has a soft spot for abused animals. Recently, this video went viral of a man violently stomping on his dog. Turns out that man was right here in Lee County, and the sheriff's Animal Cruelty Task Force, a team that works 24/7, tracked that suspect down.
So here he is, young guy. He's got no real previous history, but his first words are, "What, you here for me and my dog?" So he knew exactly why we were there. And, you know, he knows zero tolerance here.
The suspect was 20-year-old Beckham McLeod, and the dog was a 9-month-old puppy named King. McLeod was charged with aggravated animal cruelty, but his trouble does not end there.
When convicted, he goes on an animal abuse registry. We're one of the only counties that have that. I'm working hard to get that statewide with legislation, but now that person, when convicted, goes on a list for 5 years. Everyone knows who they are, okay? They have to register, and they can never have an animal for 5 years. That's a really big deal.
Convicted abusers on the registry means that no shelter, no pet seller, or private citizen can transfer ownership to the abuser, and they won't be allowed to own or live in the same home as an animal. And they're not allowed to work with animals either. As for King, it turns out he suffered swelling and bruising in his neck area. He's doing well now, and he was removed from the suspect and is expected to be adopted.
First of all, it's heartless. Okay, you're abusing those that have no voice and just want to be loved. But furthermore, they'll abuse a human a lot worse. So it's very, very important.
Sheriff Marceno's work in saving animals from the abusers also extends to Nan's Ranch. It's a unique passion project of his, a place where those who commit low-level crimes eventually help to care for the animals.
It's in memory of my grandmother, who was the most important person in my life ever. She passed away 3 years ago, changed my life forever, but Nan's Ranch and her legacy lives forever. And one, taking the animals out of the abuse situations, no animals left behind.
Here, the goats, ponies, pigs, chickens, donkeys, snakes, and gators are cared for by the inmates, who learn new skills. And Marceno's hope is they learn and turn their lives around after this experience.
They've made mistakes. They come out, and now they serve and work taking care of the animals. And it teaches them compassion. It teaches them, look, this is how we help animals. It teaches them carpentry skills, landscaping stuff. There's all different types of skills that are learned at Nan's Ranch. And then when they leave and they're not incarcerated any longer, they can use those life skills and be a productive member of society. So it's a multifaceted program, and it does great things.
So the animals at Nan's Ranch, they are either donated or they are rescued, and some of them are purchased. And some of the money that goes to Nan's Ranch, which has, by the way, been around since 2022, it comes from the Inmate Welfare Fund. So every time an inmate makes a phone call or they go to the commissary, there are fees, and that helps to fund Nan's Ranch. I'm Anita Padilla for Florida's Voice. Brendan, back to you.
In addition to the funds coming from the jail, Nan's Ranch is also partly funded by asset forfeitures and donations from the public.